Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, thank you so much for stopping by. If it's not, welcome back. My name is Jane Francis and today we're talking about periods and menstrual cups. So I've had my menstrual cup for about 3 years now, and you're probably wondering, okay, so why did you finally decide to give it a try? So recently, because of the price of pads, so just for context, the brand that I used to use is called Yaz, and it used to sell for about 10 cedis, and then it went to 15 cedis, and currently it's at 20 cedis. So at the end of April, I had to give myself like a talking to. I had to tell myself, look, you're wasting money. You already have this menstrual cup. It's about time you let go of like all your fears, all your inhibitions, and actually try this thing out and actually see what it will be like. So I decided to try it for my circle this month of May. So for the entire circle, aside from one day, I actually used the menstrual cup all through my period. So I just unboxed my menstrual cup. The one that I have is from Flow Cup. It's a brand called Flow Cup, and my friend got it from Sweden. So this is what is in the pack. So it comes with like, this is obviously the cup. Let me open it so that I'll show you guys. It comes with this pouch for storing it. So this is what the cup looks like. I hope you can see it clearly. This is the stem. It looks, I don't know, for some reason I thought it would be bigger, but it's actually small, and it's very soft and foldable. I don't know what I thought it would feel like, but I don't know. Here it comes with this. I'm guessing these are like wet wipes or something that you can use to like refresh the cup when you throw it out on the go. And then it also came with this thing, but I was trying to open it and I think I spoiled it. So this is for if you don't want to like use your pot to sterilize your cup. You're supposed to put this, like your cup into this, put some water and then put it in a microwave. But I was trying to open it and then I spoiled it. So yeah, that's what it comes with. I'm about to boil some water so that I can sterilize my cup, because today is day 1 of my period, and I'm hoping to start using this from day 2 because I've already started with my pad today. So tomorrow. So today is morning, is the tomorrow that I was waiting for. So I have my cup here and I'm going to try to insert it now. I'm a bit nervous. I'm a bit nervous. I didn't expect to be this nervous, to be honest, because I'm quite comfortable with, like, you know, my vagina area, but yeah, I'm a bit nervous. So I'm going to try. Hey, Shiniki. Hey. Okay, wait. Somebody said then you turn it around, then you push. Ouch! Okay, I'm back. I rinsed it out because that was nasty. And I've taken some of my lube. And I read somewhere that lube makes it easier to insert. I don't know, the water is not working, so maybe lube will make it easier for me. So lube, I'm going to apply the lube around it so that it will smile. But then will I be able to hold it? Oh shit! Third attempt, because the other one didn't even work at all. Okay, so let me rub this around it. I don't know, it's making it a bit slimy, so I'm not rubbing it too much on the body. Hey, God. Okay, I can only happen. Oh, yeah, they go. Then you can just turn inside. Okay, they go. we just still push am. No, it hasn't opened. Okay, it's in, right? It's there. As you guys have already seen, my very first attempt inserting the menstrual cup was not very successful. So first of all, it was the fact that I was trying to insert it without the right lubricant, and I was just not able to figure out the fold that first time. And actually, even though I eventually put it in and it opened, I heard the pop sound and everything, I still did not insert it well. And how I knew was because I could feel it inside of me. And I kept watching like all these videos. People were saying, oh, when you insert it, you won't even feel it's there, you will not feel like it. So my first thought was, I can actually feel this thing inside of me. So it's either somebody is lying, and that somebody is not me. So who is lying? When I removed it, when the thing comes out of you, it feels like you have been invaded, and then the invasive thing has just now been removed. So it kind of, when you're removing, I think because the wall inside your, like the space inside your actual vagina, when it goes up, is probably wider. When it comes through to the outside, and like because the cup is open, so when it's coming out, comes out open, it feels like something has been removed from your body, and it feels uncomfortable for like, let's say 2 to 5 seconds, and then everything is fine. So I was just like, oh, like I did not expect, I think in all the videos I had watched, nobody actually mentioned that when you remove it, that you can actually feel that something has left your body. So when that happened, I was a bit like, what's happening? Like, this thing feels invasive, right? Another thing I noticed when I removed it was that I've never actually seen my menstrual blood in its liquid state. Like, yeah, when you pee, you can see the occasional clumps of blood and all of those things, but like, you know, like all like pads, even if you free bleed and you're using like a period panty or you're using tampons, they don't collect the blood in like a liquid form that you can then eventually, like, you know, they don't collect the blood in liquid form. So having it collected like that in that liquid form was a bit like, it didn't really throw me off. Again, I'm quite comfortable with like my period blood. I'm quite comfortable with my period and menstruation and all of this things. I've been seeing my period for at least 10 years now, so it would actually be insane if I was not comfortable with it. Like, at this point, you know, it is what it is, right? So the very first thing I would say is do your research. Do your research. Like, watch as many videos as you can, read as many articles, as many stuff as you can. Like, read a lot from like people that have tried it before. Watch videos from people that have tried it before. Also watch videos from like people that do like educative content on like periods and reproductive organs, and, you know, sustainable period products, or just period products in general, because they usually have like sample vaginas that they used to do like the insertion and removal. So watching videos from like doctors or people who are conversant and knowledgeable about periods and period products is very important. Like, I cannot even overemphasize it, because it will help you to feel comfortable. It will help you to feel like you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. And also doing some research into the different kinds of brands that exist, what kind of products they have, because some brands have like products for different types of like people with periods. So they have for people that are just teenagers, they have some for people who have given birth previously, they have some for people who are not teenagers but haven't given birth at all. They have like different sizes, different kinds, ones for people who have heavier flows, all of that. So just doing that research and reading and finding that information helps you to go into it a bit more informed. Being conversant and comfortable with your anatomy is very important. So if you're someone that's, like I said, that is squeamish around like menstrual blood, or you, and this is not even like shade or even to be like, well, why are you, because I know that there's a lot of shame like around like menstruation and periods and menstrual blood. So if you're someone that is like, that has that kind of inhibition,
or like, oh, I don't want to touch my menstrual blood or something like that, it will be worth it to actually let go of those feelings, let go of those inhibitions first. And also, if you're someone that's uncomfortable and doesn't like really touch like your vagina, or like you're not very conversant with your vagina and like your reproductive organ, not just the outer, like the vulva and the outer bits of it, but like the inner bits of it as well, because you have to, there's no running away from it. You would have to put your hand inside your vagina, you would have to like feel, you have to touch blood. So just being comfortable, being conversant, being confident around like your reproductive organ and like your vagina and all of these things, really helpful. It's going to make the process of inserting and everything, is going to make it so much more easier when you're confident and comfortable with yourself and your anatomy. If you try to insert the cup without any form of lubricant, be it water or actual lube, you're going to suffer. It's going to be painful, it's going to be uncomfortable. So lubricants, a lot of people said to like put water on it, which I tried. I'm not going to lie, I did try that the first time, but it did not work well for me. It wasn't as comfortable as I knew that it could be. So I tried lube. This is the lube that I use. It's just like regular ass lube from Durex. So lubricant, very important. This is a cup, right? It's not going to go into your vagina or into your body right like this, so you have to fold it somehow. So what I would recommend is, you know, reading through all the different folds, but also reading and taking the advice on the manual of the brand that you bought. So I tried this fold, but it was very uncomfortable. It was difficult for me to get it inside. So I went back and I tried the punch down method. So the punch down method is what I eventually used. And once I was able to figure out the punch down method, it made things so much more easier for me. So I would recommend like reading about the different folds, finding 2 or 3, trying them and picking the one that works best for you, whilst also taking the recommendation from the brand that you've actually bought, because you know they've tested it, they've done their research, they know what is best. This is exactly what I did that worked for me. So this is the cup, right? So what I would do, what I would do is I use the punch down method, like I said. So I would punch down here after I've already applied lube. I will punch down, and then it would look somewhat like this, right? It will look like this. I'm going to use my hand as the vagina, so it will look like this. Then I will go in like this, right? And then when it's gone into this bump here, I will turn it around in my vagina and then push it in a bit, and then I'll start doing this. I'll squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it, and when you're squeezing it, it eventually just opens, right? Once it opens, you will hear that pop sound, and nearly you hear that pop sound, you know that it's already like in there, it's suctioned into ureter. So once that happens, I just like push it, use this stem, and I push it in a bit, and it goes in and it stays. The thing that, you know, took some figuring out was also the remover. For me, one of the tips that I would give, or the only tip that there is in terms of removing it, is just relaxing again. So sit on the toilet seat, relax, pushing. You know when you're trying to pee and you're pushing down onto your pelvic wall or your pelvic muscle for it to like come out? Do that. It brings the stem of the cup, it brings it down further out because it goes in throughout the day. So once it comes down, what I do is I hold on to, I use like my forefinger and my thumb, and I reach into my vagina and I grab the base of it. Then I start squeezing. When you squeeze, what happens is that it breaks the seal, right? So I squeeze and it breaks the seal. Then I start twisting and bringing it out until it's finally out. It comes out without any spills, it comes out with the blood still intact, and then I dump that and I rinse my cup. So what I did was I rinsed it and I washed it with soap. I reached out to some of my followers on Instagram and I told them that I was filming this video, and I told them to ask me some questions. So I'm just going to try and answer some of the questions that they asked. So the first question is, have you ever tried a tampon? If yes, is a period cup as comfortable as a tampon? So I've tried a tampon, but I've only tried a tampon one time. I think the insertion technique for tampons is quite straightforward, but for period cups, it's a bit like you need to figure it out. You need to figure out how to let it open within you. But once that happens, like, it's super comfortable. The next question I have here is, can everyone use it? Now, I do think that some people, like, when I read and I did my research, I found that some people might not be able to use it because they have, like, let's say silicone irritation, or they have like an allergy to silicone, or maybe they have like vaginosis. I don't know how to pronounce that. So people like that, or like people that, you know, have some sort of irritation or anything, they are the ones that cannot use it. But like every other person should be able to use it. But please do your own research. Please read widely and vastly. So the next question I got is, does it really do its job? What are the side effects? Also, isn't it too much of a tax? So I don't think it's too much of a tax. For me, the benefits that I got, like ordinarily being able to lie down on my bed and not worry about, oh, if I lie on my back, my pad will stay. If I lie on my side, my pad will stay. If I lie like this, my pad will stay. Only that being a benefit, it sold me on it. Like, just being able to do that without any stains, without any spills, it sold me on that. So I don't think it's too much of a tax. And yes, it does its job actually really well. And what are the side effects? I think that some of the issues that you can run into, that's why it's really important to wash your hands, is that it's very easy for you to introduce germs into your vagina and your body if you don't wash your hands properly before using, if you don't properly sterilize your cup before and after every use. The next question I got here was, how do you insert it, and how does it not spill? So how do you insert it? I think I already went through that. When it's suctioned onto something, there's no space or cracks for it to leak through. So that's why it's able to stay inside of you, and you can bend, you can turn, you can do this, and the blood doesn't spill, because it has a suction, and it's suctioned onto the place where the blood comes from. This is actually my favorite question. It says, best way to remove them when you have long nails. It's always a fight for me, because I actually thought about this and I was like, okay, period is only for a month, but drip is forever. So if you have long nails, so I actually went and read about this. So what they recommend is, so when your hand is going to your vagina opening, instead of going like this, where the nail now like pinches or punches to your vaginal wall, go this way and onto the cup. Because the cup is thick enough, there's no possibility of the nail like puncturing or like breaking the cup. So when you go this way and hold on to it with like the tip and the base of your finger, it makes it easier to remove without like injuring yourself or causing any injuries to like your vaginal wall or anything like that. Okay, so now that we've gone through like all the tips, I've told you my honest experience, what's my verdict? Am I going to continue using this cup? And my answer is a big fat fucking yes. Like, me and Pad, we have officially divorced ourselves. I'm not doing it again. Occasionally, because like I said, I have like a very heavy flow on my second and third day, and because the cup that I have is actually the smaller size from the brand, it will get full very quickly. So any day that I am not at home and I am leaving the house, or I know that I will be out of the house for an extended period of time, I will put my cup in and I will just use the pad to catch the leaks when it's full, right? Because I'm not yet very comfortable with like removing it in public and throwing it out and washing it. It does its job. It's very, 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 very comfortable. Like, until you've tried this thing and you see how comfortable it is, you might think like it's not possible for it to be that comfortable, but believe me, please, I'm begging you, believe me, it's very, very comfortable. I think the minute I inserted it and I figured out how to do it well, and I was amazed. I kept texting Davina to be like, babe, this thing don't dey inside my body for hours and I don't feel anything. Like, this thing is comfortable. You can poop with it. And if you know anything about periods, you know that the period diarrhea, is it dysentery or whatever, can be very, very annoying. Like, it can be a lot. So just being able to know that when that thing is inside, I know that that's some of the issues that people have with tampons sometimes, because when you apply like a lot of pressure, the tampon can like pop out. But yeah, you can poop with it, you can exercise with it, and I think you can actually swim with it, because of the fact that the blood, like, when I inserted it and it was properly, like, if I would wipe my vagina after peeing, there would be no blood traces. You can lay on your back without getting stained. You guys, like, I had a whole circle and I did not have not one single stain. Do you know how big that is? Like, me, I'm already used to it. Like, once I'm on my period, I'm going to stain one cloth. I always wear black. I'm going to stain my pants, I'm going to stain my bed, I'm going to stain something. But I had a whole circle, 6 days of menstruating, and I did not stain not one single outfit, not one single pants, not my bed, not my bed, nothing. Like, I'm sold. Me and this cup, we are locked in like this for life. Okay guys, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for hanging with me up until this point. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, please share. Thank you so much for hanging with me, and I will see you on my next video.